Eddie.
We're about to be live in like a second.
Oh, we're always live before you
We're
think we are.
always live when we're live. What's up, profitable stylists? We are live this week coming at you. We are doing some reviews on styling products, hairstyling products for retail, for maintaining looks, and for everything else. But real quick, Bernard wants to make an announcement. Good morning, Bernard.
I love that awkward style.
I'll just I'll go back to eating. I don't.
Fiberglass molds. For you guys doing hair replacement or having to make a mold of a scalp, for years I always did the cast mold, the white plaster of Paris, like the old fashioned cast if you broke your arm. It's really thick and bulky and takes a while to dry. It was a great way to make a mold for a head. But Shanna, who I met at a conference a couple of years ago, flew in and for the Profitable Stylist Academy, put together a mold class, a template class, and how to do it out of fiberglass. And I had seen it done for so many years, but never actually did it myself. And when she did this class, I thought, why have I not switched to this years ago? It's so fast and easy. There's a bunch of brand names, but we flew her in. She did a class. We're starting off by just selling this education on the Profitable Stylist Academy for $20. $20 to learn how to do a fiberglass mold. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I'm sure we're going to have to raise that price at some point, but just to kind of intro it, we made it $20. So if you want to do it, the link is in the description below if you want to take that $20 class and learn how to do a fiberglass mold. So much faster, easier, cleaner, and much more precise. And I think it's a little more precision around where the hairline is for making custom made wigs or hair systems or hair pieces. So take that class. Just wanted to throw that out there. That's our commercial.
Whoa. Brought to you by the Profitable Stylist.
There we go.
Yeah, right. All right, cool. So then, yeah, this week, like it says, we're talking about reviewing retail products and what they're for. So retail products is a combination of everything
They're for
for
the
your
hair,
hair,
right?
for the hair. So whether it's a shampoo and a conditioner, whether it's leave-in detanglers, leave-in sprays, bond builders, hairspray, mousse, gel, smoothing cream, blowout cream. I already said detangler, strengthening, deep conditioners, and anything that has to do with maintaining a hairstyle, whether that hairstyle is a natural, whether it's hair extensions, whether it's a wig, whether it's a hair replacement system, long hair bonding, any and all of the above. Okay. And the reason why I wanted to do this review is because I teach a lot of classes, and what ends up happening is I'll always get somebody that'll say this is one of their struggles during the program. And when we start going through the class and when we start going through the program, or even some of the coaching that I've done too, it turns up to be technically the stylist is doing everything correctly. And in some cases, the client, it's not that they're purposely sabotaging the look. It's just that they don't realize they are not using the right products for their type of hair because either the stylist hasn't recommended anything, or the client, people talk to each other, right? So you go to friends, you're at lunch, you're on the phone, and you're like, oh my God, my hair sucks. Oh, well, I use this and this worked good for me. Well, if that worked good for you, then it must work good for me, right?
Right.
But there's no insurement that my type of hair is the same or similar enough to your type of hair. So just
Right.
because you use this kind of X brand, whatever, it just may not work on mine. And at the salon, we've had a new wave of clientele been coming in, like a bunch of new clients have been coming in. So I've been having to do a lot of first time consultations all over again. And I'm starting
That's
to
good.
realize that the clientele, the either the previous stylist, maybe there was a miscommunication, maybe they just forgot what the previous stylist had told them, maybe nothing was said altogether. I
Too nice. You're
I'm
being
being
too
nice,
nice.
right?
Yeah,
Um,
right. I can hear it.
but
Their
but
other stylists didn't know what to tell them and didn't tell them anything.
I don't know. All I do know is that the clients are like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I never knew that. Oh, nobody has ever explained that to me. I had one lady said, where were you in my life 50 years ago? And I'm like, Jesus, okay.
When she had hair. When she had hair.
when
Right.
she had hair, right? Um, so the first thing I wanna address is some of the I want to address it from from a professional perspective, but the topics that I'm going to bring up today are from the consumer, from the client's perspective. So a lot of pushback or a lot of complaints or a lot of nervousness that I hear from stylists is I'm not a salesman, I'm an artist, or it doesn't matter what I sell because they're just going to go on their phone and right in front of my face insultingly they're going to pull up Amazon and they're just going to buy it online, or they have
So
a
let's
coupon to
cover
Ulta.
let's cover the basics real quick. So I want a little disclaimer from me and from you. So first of all,
Okay.
we're going to talk about why stylists should be selling professional brand products over not selling anything and letting the client just go to the grocery store or the drugstore. But then also, like you just said, professional brand products so often can be bought on Amazon, and you say you should buy this. They snap a picture of it and they're ordering on Amazon right away. Why is that good or bad, or does it matter? And then the disclaimer I was going to say is I never was a strong retailer. I saw and I mean I can see both ways, but I always, I don't know, from the beginning when I worked from somebody else, I saw that small percentage I'd get, and this is just me being real. I know you need to sell. They're buying shampoo conditioner from somewhere. This is my first thought. Forget whether it's professional, not professional, which I know you're going to touch on, but they're buying shampoo, conditioner, and styling product from somewhere. So why wouldn't you be the one selling it? That's the only strong argument I have. Sell it to them because they're already there. But I can see this is going to be my argument. In the very, very beginning, I started doing hair, and they were like, you make 50% of the services you do and 10% of these retail products you sell. So I thought, well, let me upsell the services because I make a lot more money in services. So I was always talking about doing more services and just totally ditching the retail because it was such a small amount. Now, as I've gotten older and smarter, I see that it does more than just makes me 10%. But that was the only pitch I had in the early days. Make 10% more. No, I want to make the 50% more of my efforts. So that's why I didn't sell a lot of retail and I got into bad habits. Now, years later, I'm sure you're going to touch on this. If you're selling them the retail, teaching them how to use it, and they're using the correct product on their hair, which is important, they also become a more loyal client and they keep buying that product even when you're not looking or thinking about it. And so that 10 or 20% or whatever your salon gives you, it just keeps happening without you having to do the work anymore. And that build up in the future is very profitable. But I didn't see it in the beginning, and I can see where some stylists start there. But you tell us why they should be buying from us instead of the drugstore to start with.
That that one is always going to. What's that?
Is it really any better?
Oh yeah, no, there's a huge difference when you buy it from the salon. There's a huge difference. But I'm going to preface it first by saying this. I'm going to hear a lot of pushback to this. I'm going to hear a lot of argument to this, The whole diversion thing, just shut up. Any professional stylist that's going to get on here and comment about diversion, just shut up. The diversion argument died 20 years ago, and it's just something we've been beaten to death. It doesn't matter. Okay, look, Bernard, your salon, Walgreens is not coming to you and buying 10 cases from you and 10 cases from me and 10 cases from somebody else and throwing it up online, okay? These are distributors or the manufacturers themselves double dipping and selling online. That's all it is. That's all it's always been. It is what it is. All right.
Blame it on the salons, huh?
You can't blame it on the salons. It's such a BS argument that's been, that like I said, it's been ongoing for 20 something years now, and it's just stupid. So I don't want to hear about diversion. What I do want to hear about though is the insult that I recommend you this. The client snaps a picture of it. They immediately go online and they just purchase it right then and there because they can get it for less than what you're selling it at the salon for. Okay.
Maybe it's just convenient.
Well, no, in the beginning, it was the Wild West on online retail. And yeah, online retailers got smart. They got savvy about it. And if they were able to get the product, they were undercutting the salon. clients are smart. They're trying to get a deal. And if they can get the same product for less, why not?
Right.
Understandable. It's still insulting. Absolutely. I agree with that. But it's still understandable. Okay, fine. That's that argument. Now, there's no more argument to that anymore either, because a lot of manufacturers banded together. They got smart and they said, we're sick and tired of arguing and listening to everybody complain to us constantly about the diversion and this and that and the undercutting. So now everything is level across the board. What you buy it online is also what you buy it at the salon. They're all the same price. Except now the roles have been reversed. The salon has an opportunity to undercut the online prices. You don't have to mark up however much you mark up. You can dictate, like if you buy it for this much and sell it for this much or sell it for this much, you can make $1 profit, you can make $10 profit, you can make $100 profit. It doesn't matter how much you mark it up for, which then gives you the ability to run your own sales, just like online retailers or the over-the-counter stores, the box stores are running their sales. You can run your own sales. There's no rule that says you can't do that. Hell, you can sell it for cost and give it away if you wanted to. You know, all of the above is a thing. So here's the importance. A professional product is more concentrated with proper ingredients than an over-the-counter product is. At its base, an over-the-counter product is watered down. It's manufactured for mass consumption, mass retail. So if you have to squeeze out, this much in your hand to make it work, if you bought a professional product, you would only need quarter the amount and it would create the same thing. Because I hear then the argument from the client side, which to me is a stupid argument. I can get a liter size, I can get a 32 ounce, shampoo for $6. Your 12 ounce or your 8 ounce shampoo is $20. Well, yeah, but if by the time you use it, it's the same thing. You're using twice to 3 times the amount from your $6. You're using a quarter of the amount from your $20 shampoo. It's the same thing. And nowadays with coupons from, and I don't want to call out the big stores in a negative way, but it's what stylists need to understand and what everybody needs to understand. Sephora, Ulta, Target, Walgreens.
Well, those are the ones you didn't want to call out?
These are the ones I didn't want to call out in a negative way. Like, I'm not trying to be negative about it. These guys are getting these, they're running 20, 30% coupons. They have buy one, get one. They have these package deal things. They're making hand over fist. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
No, it's cheaper. We've got an Ulta nearby, and my staff's always saying, our clients are going to Ulta. So my salon coordinator went to Ulta and looked at the prices, and they were more expensive than we were selling the same products.
Selling it for.
I think they just have a reputation that they're cheaper. They're not always less expensive.
They have the coupons and they have the point system.
Okay.
And they're constantly bombarding the mailing to people's houses and emails with 20% off, 30% off. We have this holiday. It's like a car dealership. Every freaking weekend is some kind of special sale event going on.
Right.
People are going in, and it's a one-stop shop. You get your makeup, you get your hair stuff, you get whatever.
How do you compete with that as a stylist?
Okay, so for example, I just had a client in this past Saturday. She's been buying over the counter her entire life. She's never believed in spending money at the salon.
Okay.
So this past Saturday is the first time that she purchased a professional product from a salon, from me. So she's a new client. This was her 3rd visit with me. The first visit, I basically did the consultation with her, and I told her she was using Pantene.
Pantene. Just joking, but you're serious.
I hate everything about that product.
I love the name Pantene. I don't know why. The commercial must have sold me.
You know what? They have great commercials. Okay, fine. They
say they do great stuff too.
Do you realize they sell a bottle every 6 seconds or some insane?
Well, stop advertising for them. Get back to your point.
No, it's hot garbage. Okay, it does absolutely garbage for the hair. So basically, I got her to go from upgrade from Pantene to something else that she could still purchase from the store. that's the same price or maybe 50 cents difference. Just I shifted her that way. I didn't attack her. The last visit when she was in, I told her, I planted the seed. I said you could continue to use that stuff. She noticed a huge difference from upgrading from Pantene. I'm like, okay, good. Now you understand. I've created value and the importance of ingredients.
Wait there, hold there for a second. I think it's the relationship and the education and using the right product. I hate to say this, but I bet if you had all the Pantene products in front of you and knew which ones did which, sure, they might be watered down. I bet you could better direct her on what Pantene product would make her hair feel better too. I think that the sale
No,
is in.
that's a hard no. You would pee
Okay,
on your head. You would be
but
more
still,
beneficial than using.
okay, maybe the analogy is too strong for you, but
Okay,
still,
Suave. Let's say Suave or Head and
oh,
Shoulders or
you
something.
could do Suave.
I can handle Suave. I can handle Suave.
But the point is the education. I mean, even these drugstore brands are trying to uh, cater to certain hair types, but the general customer just doesn't know what hair type they have, first of all, or what product to get that would be best for their hair, or what product to get to make their hair do what they're describing they want it to do. And
Mhm.
that's where the professional education comes in. And I think that's where your value is. And when you're showing all that value, she shows you the respect of buying it from you instead of going straight to Amazon. I think the slight of taking a picture of it and going to Amazon is a weak salesperson, doesn't have passion or belief in what they're trying to do or help the client with.
They're just throwing it out there for throwing it out there. So here's the
Right.
interesting thing. I sold it to her on Saturday and I did it like this. I said, listen to me. This is going to be way more expensive than anything you've ever paid for your entire life. You've only ever bought over the counter.
I
And
like the honesty.
yeah. And I said, of course, you could probably go shopping around to other stores and see who's got what price for this. Probably you can. And you may possibly find it less than what I have it for as well. And that's okay. I understand that too. But here is the difference. I'm going to give this to you. You're going to buy this from me today. I'm going to follow up with you on Tuesday,
There's the difference.
right? There's difference number one. I'm going to follow up with you on Tuesday and see how you've used it Sunday and Monday. And then also, let's say come Tuesday, we have our talk. You're just not liking it. Bring it back, give it back to me. I'll exchange it to you for something else and we'll try something else. And I will run my entire shelf and I'll just keep swapping everything I got on the shelf. And I'll just keep exchanging until I find something that you like. And in the absolute worst case scenario, you don't like it, to hell with it. I'll give it back to me again and I'll refund it again. She goes, well, what are you going to do with all those opened, used? I go, I'll use it. I don't care. This is
So
amazing
if I'm
stuff.
frozen too, or is he just frozen on my You're
Oh,
frozen with
did you lock up?
you froze. I
Oh,
don't know,
I
maybe
froze.
or maybe
Oh,
we both froze. But you said at the end you would just give her something, I guess, for free.
oh, so what I said is, I'll run the whole thing. Worst case scenario, you absolutely don't like anything. I'll refund you. Give me all the used stuff. She goes, well, what are you going to do with all used stuff? I said, this is great. I'll use it. I'll use it. I'll use it at the back bar. I'll take it home and use it myself. This is how
Right.
great this stuff is. I'll find a use for it. So she bought it. Come Tuesday, we did the follow-up phone call. She notices even leaps and bounds, even bigger difference, and she's thanking me. And she told me, she said, had it not been for you willing to exchange it, I would probably have never spent this much money. My husband had a heart attack when I came home.
But now she's a believer.
But
And when
now
you're
she's
a
a believer.
believer,
Yeah.
you'll spend any amount of money, right? Because it's not about the amount of money; it's about the experience and the quality of the experience that you have. If you're really feeling and seeing a difference, because that's how so many products have been sold. But I think it all started with the relationship, the fact that you actually care. I think she didn't mind spending a little extra money. She didn't even shop around to see if she could get that same thing cheaper
No.
because she saw and felt your passion and belief for the product that you were recommending. It could have been Suave or Pantene, but your belief behind it is first what sold her on it. Now, if it had been Pantene and performed terribly, you would have been refunding her or something. But because you had a product that actually worked and did what it's supposed to do, you had the follow up. And then of course you followed up with her on the phone. That's big. That's really big.
That one extra 5 minute phone call. That's all it took me was a five
Oh,
minute phone
that's
call.
yeah. And now this is now the next part. All of that's amazing, but the power I think most people miss is that whatever that one or three products was you sold her, she will probably be a buyer of that. I'll use the example of, for me. For a long time, I got stuck on a product for my hair, which I only recently found another product that I like, but I am still using a different product because I liked Reformer from Paul Mitchell. You know, they had these three versions of little jar paste type things. One was real
Mhm.
glossy, one was kind of semi, and one's a matte finish. And I'm using the matte finish. It holds my hair, but there's no shine, and I love it. Loved it so much they ran out one time at the local distributor, and I got nervous, so I ordered a case of it. And so in my bottom drawer in my bathroom, the whole drawer is full of this one product because I don't ever want to run out of it. Recently, I bought another case. And then, of course, I got hooked up with John Renault lately, and I'm loving this Peace Out product they have. I've only got 2 jars of that. I don't have a case. So I'm probably going to be using this reformer. I loved it so much for so many years. I've gotten at least 2 cases of it. I got so hooked on it. If a stylist had sold it to me at one point, I'm the one that's going to keep buying that same product because I've liked it for so many years in a row. That's money that stylist makes without even having to try anymore. You don't have to make that sales pitch again. You make it one time, be considerate and sincere about it, and they just keep buying it. You know, if a lady uses hairspray every morning, she's buying it. Every 2 or 3 weeks, she's buying it. She's going to stop by and get it from wherever she gets it, whether it is a drugstore or the salon. She's going to stop by and get it. And if you're always keeping it in stock and consistent, that's money you make without even trying. I need a can of that hairspray, and she comes in and she grabs it and buys it, and boom, you made money with no sales pitch.
So that actually goes back to what you were saying earlier in the beginning. For some of the newer stylists, this is one of the things that they do struggle with a lot. If you get a commission for retail sales, yeah, it may be a small amount, but that's a small amount that you did absolutely, you had to spend zero time. So it's residual income. It's not service income. So like how you were saying earlier, you'd rather upsell more services because then you get more higher percentages. Yes, you
Right.
do. That is correct, but you're
But I got
spending
to keep
time
selling the service
and you got
to
to keep
keep
selling
making the
service.
money. Sure, it's more, but with the retail, I had to work real hard to sell it once and make a little bit of money, but then I don't have to work for it anymore. And it just keeps selling. Every once in a while, I can introduce a new or different product and add to the products they're using. But before you know it, I should be selling at the least the shampoo, the conditioner, in a lot of cases, a bar soap. There's a lot of brands that have a body
Sure.
bar or a
Sure.
body scrub. So, and then at least one product for the hair, but who uses one product on the hair anymore? I
Nobody.
mean, is at least one styling product, very often 2 or 3. So, somewhere between 4 and 6 products a client should be buying from you regularly. And I read a book one time. God, it was by Connie Podesta, something about getting rich or getting wealthy selling to women. When I saw the title of this book, I felt a little guilty. I felt like, oh God. I mean, I knew Connie Podesta was a Christian speaker. So when I first saw how to get rich or how to get wealthy selling to women, I thought, oh, that's, I was in the airport when I saw it, and I thought, I looked around like, I want to look at this book, but I don't want to look like a chauvinist. Like I want to take advantage of women. But then I saw the author, and I was like, but that's a Christian lady, so this must be a little play on words. It was good because it drew me in. But one of the main things that she said in there is that women are the buying powerhouses for households. And so a woman, if she comes in, this is where I'm going to go further with the retail. If she comes into the salon and she likes you, first of all, this is the first thing it taught me to have more respect for women at the time because I got tired of hearing the same question asked over and over. And she hit the nail on the head. She says, first of all, women don't ask the same question over and over to you because they're not smart or forgetful. They're more like detectives. and they're interrogating you to make sure you keep answering the question the same way every time. And I was like, oh, that's deep. So when they ask you the same question two or three or four times, it's more like they're trying to see if your story stays the same. Like, why should I buy this shampoo? What does the shampoo do? How does the shampoo work? Are you sure I should buy this shampoo? Why did you say I should buy the shampoo again? And I'm like, oh my God, I've already answered you 4 or 5 times. And I got a lot calmer after reading her book because she basically saying they're interrogating you. And if you truly believe your questions, your answers are going to be the same every time, it's going to be consistent. But then once she believes in you, she will buy for the whole family. She will send the kids and the husband into you because she is more, women are more loyal than men. She will be loyal to you as a client forever. She'll bring the kids and the husband to you. She will then tell all her friends about you because you passed the interrogation process in the beginning and you were true and honest and reliable. And so that was something that was eye opening for me reading that book. Maybe RJ could find the real name of the book and put the description
Said,
below.
make a fortune selling to woman, Connie Podesta.
Make a fortune selling to women. He already put it in there?
He put it in there. Thank
Oh,
you,
God.
RJ.
Thank you,
He
RJ.
is on it, man. He don't mess
He is
around. He is
on it.
on the ball.
Yeah. So that book changed my life. You guys should get it. We make no money selling that book, but I've always liked it. It's a little older. It's big, big print, easy to read, easy for me. I don't do as much reading as I should, but it will it'll change your life as far as selling because she also says a lot like you. Everybody thinks, especially stylists, I'm not a salesman. You don't have to be a salesman.
Well, this is another thing going along, piggybacking on what you were talking about. The way I learned it is the salon that I'm in is in a strip mall. So there is a bakery, an electrician, and a chiropractor, and a restaurant right next to us. And we're like in the middle of all of that, right? So
Yep.
it's gotten to the point where, this is when I first started at this salon, my number one thing is I become the mayor of the strip mall. I try to go to every single store, introduce myself, make sure everybody knows me, I know them. And when the
That's smart.
clients come in and I'm like, hey, have you checked out this restaurant next door? Oh, no, why? Are they any good? Hey, you look, I love the freaking nachos over there, right? Oh, have you tried the bakery over here? Oh, why? What do they got? Oh, my God, the cookies are phenomenal, Oh, have you gone to the chiropractor? No. Hey, man, I had this kink in my neck. Like, I'm just cross promoting the strip mall for two reasons. One, I want them to keep coming back, making a habit of traveling to this destination, right?
Sure.
A lot of
Smart.
people go to the stores that they frequent the most, and then they shop at the stores around the stores that they frequent the most.
That's good.
So now if they're constantly coming in, then while they're there, they're like, oh, I've had people stop and like you were saying, a kid comes in, hey, my ma is so and so. You do her hair. What's the she told me to pick up the shampoo for her. I'm over here
Oh,
grabbing dinner. The husband, hey,
oh,
I'm grabbing some. I got a sweet tooth. I'm grabbing some stuff from the bakery. What's that hairspray? My wife said something about hairspray. And
perfect.
the second thing is, it became like an advertising thing to the women. Shop local. There's in my area in particular, there's a lot of women that are doing this movement thing for the. We have a lot of farmers by us, and they
Yeah.
do the stands, the market stands,
Understand.
produce stands. Thank you. So there's a lot of there's a big group of women in our area that does this shop local thing, and they're pushing for just in the little downtown area where we are. Go to the local restaurant, go to the local market stand, fruit stand, go to the local shops. Hey, we're local too. So,
Right.
you could buy your retail from online, you could buy your retail from the store, or you could shop local and buy your retail from us too. And the
That's
one
good.
lady, she said to me, she goes, well, how do you fit into the messaging for shop local? I said, that's the dumbest thing you've ever said to me. How you can ask me something so stupid? She goes, excuse me? I go, no, that's freaking stupid. I go, listen to me. If you shop local and you buy retail from me, that's profit for the salon. If it's profit for the salon, I can go get education and learn new techniques to do your hair so you could look better than your girlfriend that you're in competition with every week that you complain to me about.
Your physical hands cutting and coloring people's hair, how much more local does it get?
How much more
I mean,
local? I can take care of myself so I'm healthy. So when you want to get squeezed in because you didn't pre-book and you know I'm busy, I'm healthy enough to get you in. I can stay later or come in earlier or do you in between something. I don't know what to tell you. I like how why are you asking like how you can ask like that? But now
yeah,
I got mad, right? Now at the end
right.
of the day, I'm stressed out and I'm thinking about it. And I'm really thinking about like it bothered me what she said. But then I had to call her back and say, you know what? I'm not apologizing, but I do understand your question. I said, look, see, you don't view me as a product. You just view me as your stylist because you like me, because we've built a relationship with each other. So I'm
Yeah.
just Eddie. I'm not the stylist. I'm not Eddie the stylist. I'm just Eddie that you go hang out and see and get your hair done. You have a good time. You buy some stuff and then you leave, you know? So that's the thing. And it's always that thin, fine line between being friendly or becoming friends, staying professional or losing that professionalism. And if they don't view you as a product that they consume anymore, they just view you as somebody they have to come to see because they like seeing you, it's a good thing. But from a business perspective, from a business model, it's actually terrible.
The whole concept of shopping local is to keep the money right here in the environment of this area. And so if let's say you have an Ace Hardware that is owned by a local person, that and you shop there instead of Home Depot, that is not as local as getting a haircut by you because they're still buying WD-40 and screws from some maybe China, and then they're selling it local. Sure, they're profiting local and spending their money local, but it's also helping non-local stuff. When you are the person providing the service, that local money is going in your pocket and then getting spent right there in the community. So you are more local than any product that could be coming in from somewhere else. A produce market is more local because they grow it right here in town and sell it right here in town, and that also is real local. But if you're providing the service or growing the food, that's the most local thing you can do. I don't want to get too far off on that. Let's
No,
get
yeah.
back to should people buy retail from us? Any other, or how could people sell it a little
Here
bit?
is the other thing so this is for clients that are listening to this, you need to tell this to your stylist. And if the stylist is listening to this, you need to make a change in your habits in record keeping. Some salons use computers, some salons they don't. Some salons, even if they do use computers, maybe they don't track the history or the stylist doesn't spend enough time looking at their daily book. Like they'll just look at the book, and I'm guilty of it too. I'll look at my book in the morning, I'll scan it, and I'll be like, oh, okay, these people are coming in today. But you got to go in there and you got to look at the formulas, and somewhere in the color formula or somewhere in the client record, you have to say, Bernard likes this paste. And last time he bought it was this. And then further than that, you got to put a secondary date next to it in some way. You got to say, this paste purchased in June. Now we're in October. Hey, Bernard, how are you doing on that paste? You should be about 3/4 of the way through. How much of that do you have left? And then you'll come back and say, oh, I've used the whole thing already and I bought
Well,
another
let me
one.
tell you what I used to do. Uh, Even back when it was just paper book, it doesn't matter if it's paper or computer or computer. You take you take that book, and I used to have a paper clip in the pages of the book, or you could use a computer. The first step to selling more is scheduling your clients ahead of time. So when you're doing so and so's haircut today, or color, or whatever it is, and whatever you sell them, and they need to come back in 4 or 6 weeks. Let's just say 6 weeks. You go ahead and schedule their appointment in 6 weeks. But what if they don't schedule in 6 weeks? I put their name down in 6 weeks anyway. I
Hmm.
had two columns. I have the should come and the actual scheduled. So in the should come column, I put their name. And then that just tells me. So after I get a few weeks in, I'm always like, today I've always got clients booked and the ones that should also be booking. So I'm calling those clients to reschedule, there you should be ready. Let's get in here. I kept track of it since you weren't nice enough to schedule ahead
No,
of time
yeah.
to say that. But that's what's happening. But then I went to the next step, like you're saying. They bought a product, and people that are scheduling all year, after you get people used to scheduling every 6 weeks or 4 weeks, then I would just say, you know what, I'm just going to put you on for the rest of the year. And if you need to change any vacations, holidays, we'll change them then. So now I got them throughout the whole year. And I would just write in there how long a product should last. And on their appointment days, I'd put the products they should be buying on that day. And I would then bring it up. You got your appointment down, and these are the products you're probably ready to use. And you're just guessing. Some products go faster than others. You get a little guess. And as you learn the real habits of the clients, you just put them in the right spots. And then you just are ready to sell it to them. And maybe they're not quite done yet, or they just ran out. But they're pretty amazed when you actually care that much. But also by writing it down in the future helps you sell a little bit more.
Sure, sure. So the retail business, retail in the beauty industry is a multi-billion dollar
That is true.
revenue. Generates multi-billions of dollars, right? The last
Yep.
time I had Googled it, it was just the beauty, like us. I'm not talking about beauty care in total because that was like $1.2 trillion.
Hmm.
Or it was projected to reach $1.2 trillion, the entirety of all beauty products in general. And the majority of that was skincare and makeup. But the hair industry, us personally, we represented at the time $22.9 billion. Okay. Which means shampoos, conditioners, mousses, gels, hairsprays, protein sprays, leave-ins, blah, blah, blah,
Being
conditioners.
sold by somebody.
Somebody is selling them. Somebody is buying them somewhere, somehow, in some way, shape, or form, right?
Are you making the money?
All right. How much of that are you missing out on? And how much is that costing you? And how much of that are you sharing with the salon that you believe to be such a good shop that you go to visit? So that's really the argument when it comes down to spend the minute to speak to your client and explain to them you are keeping track and history and a record because you are creating a look and you are trying to help your client maintain that look that they want, that hairstyle that they want. And it has to be maintained through retail products. You are keeping a history because you are tweaking it. You are customizing that formula of that cocktail of all retail products for their type of hair. And I think that's the biggest thing that gets missed is that we know their type of hair better than some little, I don't want to say some little kid, but whoever the employee is. What's that?
Better than they know their own hair, usually.
Better than they know their own hair, and they're trusting some random employee at a store who's saying, oh, this stuff is really popular. This sells a lot. So you should buy this.
You know, my favorite thing to do in Walmart, I don't even have to buy something on the side of the store, but I always pass it, the color aisle. I love looking down the color aisle at those ladies like this. I want the goodness of my heart wants to go help them find the right color because I know that most of them are picking the wrong color, or they're on the products aisle and they're trying to figure out what the right product is. There's nobody on that aisle helping them, and if they do ask just a Walmart employee, there's nobody trained to help you find the right product. As a matter of fact, Sally's Beauty Supply, they're a little more trained, but they're still not usually cosmetologists, and they're helping people pick out the right color or and the reason I know that is they come to us pretty often to get that right color fixed to the other right color. Well, the lady at Sally said she's not a cosmetologist. She doesn't even have, even if she is, she's not working in a salon anymore for a reason. She didn't make enough money. She's not finished getting her license. She couldn't build a clientele. She wasn't good, or he wasn't good enough to make the right recommendations to stay behind the chair. So don't take advice from somebody that's not behind the chair actually doing it. But it is fun to watch it happen because a lot of our money is made correcting those people.
A mutual person that you and I both know went to the grocery store and put business cards in all those box colors down the aisle.
Got to be Shanna.
No, it wasn't Shanna.
Okay.
Uh, so no, him. It's a guy.
Oh, it's a guy.
He
Put business cards on the color aisle,
no,
the front.
he slipped it into the do-it-yourself boxes, like the home care box, color boxes.
Oh, that's Brad.
So and ended up getting a cease and desist letter from the company because these ladies would buy the color, they'd go home, they'd do the box color at home, they'd goof it up, and then his card would be in there. They'd call him up and say, I found your card in my, he goes, you probably are calling because you messed up your hair. Come on in, I'll fix it for you.
Right. Most of those boxes are sealed in plastic these days, so I don't know if it would work. But in the old days, yeah, the slit was open. That's a, I thought of it all. That is a great one. I think we end there. I think
Yeah.
we end it. That is great.
It was a good one.
No, don't try that.
No,
We do
no,
not.
don't do the like I said. He got a legal action against him. I'll tell you who it was after we hang up. But this one
Okay.
over live. But yeah,
That is,
it's you know him very well. You know exactly
that is
who he is.
funny.
So yeah. So all right, guys. Look, that's what I wanted to get out there this week. You're going to buy retail one ways or another. Make sure it's the right retail for your type of hair. Get a consultation
Already
recommendation
gone.
from your clients,
Yeah.
from your stylists. Thank you, everybody. We'll catch you next week.